I'm doing a video for Luke of the Cave. He was talking, oh, I have one of Paul's pipes. It's a brandy. It's a little brandy. I don't know if you've seen some of his other pipes. A lot of them are a lot bigger than this, but he made this one especially small for me. And I really do thank him for it because it's one of my favorite pipes. I carry it a lot with me because it's so small, easy to conceal, and I can actually finish a bowl in it. When I get the great big pipes, I find I don't end up finishing my bowl, and that's kind of like a waste. Not really, because I have these little leather pennies I stick in there, little soft leather pennies, and they kind of keep the tobacco moist for me. I do have another pipe. It's loaded up with AJ. It's really a beat up pipe. You can tell it's one of my favorites, can't you? Because they're beat up. But anyway, so Luke of the Cave was talking about movies, and there again, just picking one movie should be hard, you would think. But for me, it wasn't really hard because I just went to Frankenstein. When I was a kid, you know, I was born in the 50s. And the movies were, you know, we went to the movies all the time. I mean, you could go to the weekend movies and see 2 or 3 movies and stuff. So sometimes they'd even do like Frankenstein, 4 or 5 different shows, you know, at a time. They would do like, I think back then you could see Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, and there was another one, you know, I think it was another Frankenstein. Maybe it was Frankenstein versus Wolfman. But, I mean, like, it seemed like every couple of years, you know, a new Frankenstein movie came out. There was, It's Alive! There was several different kinds. There was, you know, and then it went on to Young Frankenstein, I, Frankenstein in 2015, which was really a dramatic movie. The Ghost of Frankenstein, you know, Frankenstein's Mummy, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. You know, the thing about Mary Shelley's Frankenstein is, I think someone once told me that there was like 55 that actually were called Frankenstein in the United States, but overall that there was like thousands. You know, 1,000 different kind of Frankensteins, because every different country would put out their version of it. I mean, there was even one where Frankenstein was fighting Godzilla. There was Fearless Frank, Frankenstein Terror, Dracula versus Frankenstein. That was a good one. There was the Lady Frankenstein. There was the Black Frankenstein. I think it was Blackenstein. So, as far as the favorite movie is concerned, I can just say Frankenstein, and then that would encompass just so many different ones. And it was really in that age group of the group of age. Let me try that again. My group of people, my age, we were growing up through all the new scientific discoveries and things that a lot of the now kids, you know, take for granted. Science was a lot different, and so here we are on the big screen seeing all these wonderful, great, big machines and the computers that were like 3,000 rooms big and stuff like that. We didn't know about the microism that was going to take place on all of that, you know. But like say, I can go to any of Frankenstein's movies. I mean, and then like say, along with there being the scary ones, there was the funny ones, the Abbott Costello, Young Frankenstein, and then one of the ones that I really liked when I was growing up, and you got to realize, of course, you know, the age group I'm in. I think I was already in my 30s by then. Not quite, but Rocky Horror Picture Show came out, the first Rocky Horror Picture Show with Frankenfurter, and I just loved that. I probably saw that, you know, 8 or 9 times, because when you went, it was an immersion movie. You took decks of cards with you, you took umbrellas, you took squirt guns, you took newspapers. I mean, there was just, I mean, how silly is it that there's a Frankenstein movie out that is about, it's a musical about transsexual Frankensteins from outer space. You know, I mean, how silly is that? And then, of course, I think last year they came out with it again using, instead of, it was a woman that played the Frankenstein, or Dr. Frankenstein. Of course, not the monster. The monster itself, it seems like a lot of people always, when they say Frankenstein, they think that the monster is Frankenstein, not realizing that the monster is just the monster, that Frankenstein was the actual doctor's name. Frankenstein, not Frankenstein. So that would be, if you was going to talk about some of your favorite movies, it would be, you know, Frankenstein, you know. And then I know you was talking about how you quote different ones, and other people were talking about how they quote something. You know, whenever I want to get a laugh from some of my friends, you know, and they're doing something stupid, I'll say, "Put the candle back." And that was from Young Frankenstein, you know. And then sometimes I'll yell out, "Oh, Rocky," which is from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, you know. We're always taking just a step to the left and doing the time warp. Even in my swimming, you know, I teach water aerobics. I do the time warp there in my swimming class and stuff with them, and they get a kick out of all that. So if there was a movie anywhere around that had Frankenstein in it, the Monster of Frankenstein or any kind of Frankenstein theme to it, I've probably have seen it. I mean, I've even seen some German ones that were actually didn't come over to the United States until, you know, much later and stuff, that were old ones. I think there was actually even something like a 1910 movie I saw once where they did a Frankenstein. It was a very short black and white, gritty, grainy, no sound one. But like I say, I think I've been watching Frankenstein all my life. You know, I think there's a little Frankenstein in all of us. That's another one of those quotes from one of those movies. And what great knockers. Happy, happy. Joy, joy, you know I'm watching you.
Now's your chance to, well, we warned you. You know, his researches in the field of chemical galvanism and electrobiology were far in advance of our theories here at the university. In fact, they had reached a most advanced stage. They were becoming dangerous. Herr Frankenstein is greatly changed.
You mean changed as a result of his work?
Yes.
Frankenstein! Frankenstein!
Involuntary reaction.
What if that which we call our life force is nothing but electrical energy?
To fathom life, one must understand death. Further. Much further.
What you are doing is all wrong.
Do you know what kind of monster you created? Even Satan has his companions.
I am like none other.
You have strength and speed and stamina, far beyond that of any human. You could use those gifts in a war that you are already a part of. Save the human race.
It's astounding. Time is fleeting. Madness takes its toll. But listen closely.
Not for very much longer.
I've got to keep control. I remember doing the time warp, drinking those moments when the blackness would hit me. Let's do the time warp again.
It's so dreamy. Oh, fantasy free you can't see me. No, not at all. In another direction.
It's just a jump to the left.